So now I'm very happy to introduce Anusha Ramanathan, who was there this morning. I don't know, were any of you here this morning to listen to her stories? You were there? Okay. So she has written a book on dogs, Indian breeds of dogs. And I learnt a few of them myself when I read her book. She's actually a lawyer by profession. So, and she has an interesting story as to how she became a writer for dogs. So I will let her tell that story to you. And of course, we are going to have the Great Indian Dog Quiz. So I hope you are all prepared to participate and guess where these dogs come from. Which part of India the dogs come from, right? Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Uma. Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. Normally, what I would do is I would read from the book, but today we're going to do a quiz, which is always fun. Who here has taken part in a quiz? Have we all? Yeah? So we all know how a quiz works? Okay, we're going to do this quiz a little differently, right? I'm not going to say this is the name of the dog and you point at it on the map and tell me where it is. We're going to think of clues, right? We're going to be proper detectives because it's a dog detective quiz. So how do we do that with dogs, right? You know that dogs just don't pop up out of nowhere. When we're talking about Indian dogs, they evolved in this land, because of the weather, the terrain, perhaps because of the work they do. So they didn't just pop up without any context. So we're going to do 4 kinds of clues. So we're going to think about weather and terrain, because here's the map of India. Is it positioned so that everybody can see it? Do you want it maybe in the center? Can we just move it to the center? Yeah. Should we put it in the center? No, they can't see it. So these kids can't see it. Can I just help you out with this? Okay. How does it move? Like so? Yeah, okay. Okay, so while we do this, when we're looking at a map of India, right, is all of India the same? Does it have the same weather? Does it have the same terrain? Does it have the same kind of people who typically do the same types of things? Does anybody want to share? When we're thinking of India, what kind of weather do we have? What kind of terrain? When we look here, what sort of weather do you think we might have around? Yes? Yeah, so... Okay, can everybody see now? Yeah, all of you can see. Or if you can't, do you guys want to maybe move here so that we're all just sitting in one little block here and you can see the map? Yeah? Okay, where else? Okay, so you feel like in the north it's snowy in most parts. Okay, what about if we came here towards the central part of India? Yeah. And do you think there might be variations even within a tiny part of a tiny state? There might be variations. So, for example, if we came down here in the south to Tamil Nadu, do you think there might be variations? Some places that are terribly cold, some places that are very dry. Yeah? Parts of it. That's right. And typically, not now, but traditionally, maybe the work that people did in different parts of the country may have been different, yeah? That's right. And it might be the answer to something that I ask you a little bit later on. So he's actually read the book and front runner to win the quiz. So we're going to also think about body, right? So how is the dog? Yeah, we can pass the mic around. So we're going to think about how dogs are built, whether they have a furry coat, a short coat. So maybe let's think about a beach in Kerala. So maybe would a furry dog be very happy there? What do you think? No? A dog with very little fur, right? So what we're going to do is, and I'm going to actually, I've written down some clues and I want to be accurate, so I'm going to actually look at them. What we'll do is, I'll tell you about the terrain, I'll tell you about the weather, I'll tell you about what the body is like, what their fur is like, right? And I'm going to tell you what work they do. So they might be sort of dogs that live on farms, or they might, herd cattle and so on, and then we'll try and guess what dog that might be and pin it on the map. Okay, so we're just going to practice. There's no wrong answers, and we'll do it together. And then at the end of it all, we'll have a little rapid fire, where you've now learned how to look for clues and context about dogs, and in the rapid fire, whoever wins they get a signed copy of the book, okay? And if you already have it, we'll come up with something. We'll think of something else, okay? So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to meet our first mystery dog. Okay, so body, it's tall. Yes? Oh, okay. I thought I need to rework all of the clues if it was that easy. It's tall, it's muscular, it's got a short coat, and it runs very, very fast in the heat, right? And when I'm saying it could be one dog or it could be two, 1 sec, I'll tell you, there's more, right? So that I've told you about the body, okay? And then what we're going to do is, with just, this clue is just, we're using only the body, right? You can point to the map where you think this dog might be likely to be found, yeah? And the other clue is it's going to be in the southern part of the country, right? Built to run really fast in the heat, short coat, tall and muscular. Anyone? Any guesses? No, can you point to me on the map where you think it might come from? Just take a guess, the southern part of the country. No. So there's no wrong answers, right? I'm just pointing you to how we use the body to kind of locate where they are. Yeah, sure. And we're probably going to have 3-4 guesses because you get it right because we have 3-4 states down there. No, let's try again. Oddly, this is the one state. So I'll give you one clue before we start. There are no dogs that come from here, from Kerala. Okay. So keep that in mind. No. Anyone else? Yes. Okay, so this particular dog, it's called the Rajapalayam, right? So it comes from here in Tamil Nadu, and that makes sense because this dog has a body that's built for this type of weather. There's another spot on the map where you have a dog which fits this description, right? And that is actually the caravan hound. Anyone want to guess where that one's from? We'll do this one in reverse. I've told you the name of the dog. Do you want to guess where the caravan hound might be from? Anybody want? Yes? Come, give it a go. You're close. You're quite close. So it's hot and dry, okay? Caravan hound should tell you that it's a dog that likes to run in large, dry land, open distances. Okay, you're close, but maybe you need to go a little bit lower. A little bit higher. Yeah. Okay, so in parts of Maharashtra, okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do follow the work, right? Oh, great. Thank you. Okay, so now we're going to think about what work a dog does and use that as a clue, right? So this dog was expected to guard homes, be extremely ferocious. So even wild animals, leopards and so on, this dog would encounter, guard people and farms. Where do you think this dog might belong? I know there are tons of places, so we're just going to wager a guess, and after 2-3 guesses, I think we'll get it right. Yeah. Somewhere on the top north? Okay. It is somewhere on the top north. I think another clue for this one would be, it was actually, now that the borders are different, you might have to step a bit outside of the map. So that's another clue. You might have to step a little bit this way outside of the map to locate. You would need to come down, like a little bit here. And so I'm going to tell you what this one is. It's called the bully kutta. And the name itself should be a clue, right? It's a bit of a bully. So it's a very ferocious dog, and it was typically used to guard farmlands. It had to sort of reckon with all kinds of wild animals and beasts, which is why it's called the bully kutta. And it's got a close cousin whose name is going to come up later in one of these when we do the rapid fire, okay? Now, there's another dog, also similar, which is actually not in the northern part of the country. Anyone would like to, it's from Maharashtra. Does anybody know of an indigenous dog that belongs to Maharashtra? Any guesses? Starts with a K. Maybe you've heard of it. Starts with a K and it's from Maharashtra, yes? Sorry? Yeah, it's a dog. It's a very ferocious dog, similar to the bully kutta. It's not as well known. And it comes from central Maharashtra. Any guesses, anybody? Anyone? Capybara. That's very cute. No. I love that. Okay, anyone else? It's called a Kai Kadi. A Kai Kadi, it's called. Kai Kadi. And these are super ferocious dogs. And if anyone here speaks Tamil or Malayalam, it's a funny name because Kai means hand and Kadi is bite, although that's not what it means in, where it's from, but it's an odd, yeah. Now we're going to follow the terrain, right? This is the other way to do it. So this dog is built to be running huge, long distances, doesn't get tired, it can chase after animals, it uses its scent to find prey. It was typically used for hunting. And what other clues can I give you based on terrain? Yes? No, these are all indigenous to India. The German Shepherd is not indigenous to India, so that's the other clue. So we're just following clues for indigenous dogs. Yeah? Do you want, yes? They're not native to India. Yeah. Anyone? It's a hound, obviously, because it can run huge, long distances without getting tired. Anyone want to guess? And it's from, should I tell you where it's from, I'm wondering? Around here. It's a very famous hound, and if anyone here is a history buff, you may have come across this dog. You're close, you could say it's a cousin. If anyone's a history buff, you've probably heard about an emperor who had supposedly 200 of these dogs. He had apartments built for them. He loved them very much. No. So it's the Rampur Greyhound, right, which is native to here. And it was typically used by the Nawab of Rampur, and there's lots of lore around that. Now, we're going to follow the weather. So this dog lives in a very hot, humid place. It's got a really short coat. It almost looks furless, actually, this dog. It's great for guarding chickens, sheep. It's great on farms. And it belongs to somewhere that is pretty close to where we are. So, any guesses? Very close to where we are. Yes, Andhra Pradesh. That's right. Yeah. Any guesses what this dog might be? There's only one or two that are, quite well known like this one. Any guesses what this one might be? No, Andhra Pradesh. So where does it live? All over the world, actually. We'll talk about that in 2 minutes. Any guesses, anyone, what this dog might be? No. That's, again, not an Indian one. You might know it if you've read the book. No. So this one's the Jonangi. Yeah, it's called the Jonangi, and it was dying out. It's recently had a bit of a revival. There are some enthusiasts that are sort of trying to bring the dog back. It's great for people who live on estates and farms and so on, not so good for apartments and city living. So that's how, so now you see we've followed terrain, we've followed weather, we've followed body and work. Because very often dogs were bred for a certain type of work, right? So what we'll do is we'll try and stitch all of these clues together. Before we do that, I have a trick question. Let's see if we can get it right. Okay, so you'll have to point to me on this map where a dog that has a double coat, very thick fur, and it really thrives in the snow, and it's bred for pulling sleds. Where might this dog belong in India? Yeah? What dog do you think this might be? For pulling sleds. Right, so that was a trick question. It's a Siberian Husky. They don't belong here, but we see them very often roaming the streets of Hyderabad. They've just come sweating out of their air-conditioned rooms, so that was a trick question. You're right, yeah, but it doesn't belong anywhere on this map. So that was your trick question. What we'll do is now we'll stitch all of the clues together, and we'll do a rapid fire. We won't do it super fast because we also want to have fun with it. So now, let's go. I'm going to give you the dog's 3 clues about the dog. I'm not going to give you the dog's name. And you can come over here, whoever comes over here first, and you point to me on this map. where this dog, you can just point, I will give you a rough location. You'll just have to point out to the map and also tell me the dog's name, right? But I'm going to give you the location, so it's easier, but you'll have to narrow it down for me and just give me the dog's name, and whoever does that first wins. So it's hot, dry land. It's near Madurai, and this is a strong and serious guard dog. Does anybody want to come and guess? Point on the map, give me the name. What? Yeah, you'll have to give me the dog's name also. Madurai in Tamil Nadu, you're right. So basically, hot, dry land near Madurai in Tamil Nadu, guard dog, strong and serious. Yes? No, strong and ferocious. No. One more, give it one more guess. You probably heard of it. Yes? Correct, yeah. Now do you want to guess the dog's name? No, you're close, location-wise. Any guesses? Anybody? Shall I tell you what it starts with? No, it starts with a K. Does that ring a bell for anybody? The Kaikadi is Maharashtra. Okay, so K-O, first two letters are K-O. Does anyone want to wager a guess? You're right, it's a Kombai. Good job. Okay. If you get more, you might win the rapid fire round. Fantastic. So the Kombai is over here. Belongs over there. Fantastic. Okay. Now the next one is a super, super, super fast runner. Thrives on huge open plains. It needs huge flat land to run in. And kings once hunted with this dog. I've already told you one, it's not that one. It's not the Rampur Greyhound. And I'll give you another clue, it's a southern part of the country. Kings used to use this dog. It's famously been used in the Polyga Wars. Okay, those are your clues. Yes. So now it's easy, because you've given everyone a clue. It's Karnataka. Does anybody want to guess? No, Chippipara is Tamil Nadu. Does anyone want to wager a guess? It's a hound. It's a hound, so it runs super fast. It needs huge plains to run in. Yes? Bloodhound? No, those are actually not native to India. No, close cousin maybe, but no. Starts with an M. The place, Karnataka. Yeah, sure, tell me. You thought? The place. Okay, what is your guess? You thought Karnataka. Yeah, right. Anyone starts with an M. It's actually got the name, like the name has the word hound in it. So, anybody? Shall I tell you? Okay, it's the Mudhol hound. Sorry? Did you just, before I said it? Okay, so then you win that. Great. Okay, so we've covered like Karnataka here. Okay. All right. Okay, cold, snowy mountains, very thick fur, and this is a big clue, guards monasteries and homes. No. Guards monasteries and homes, cold place, thick fur. Yeah, and what do you think it's called? No, what do you think it's called? You're right. Yes. Did you just say? Yes, it's the Tibetan Mastiff. You're right. And we'd have to go a little bit outside of the map for that, but yes, you're right. So 1 point here. Good job. Okay. Now we're going to come a little bit way down south again, okay? It's a farming dog, protects cattle. So generally you find it on farms, and it was bred for that purpose. And it's from this place, this region in Tamil Nadu called Kongunad. Kongunad, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it fully correctly, Kongunad, right? Those are the clues. Yeah? A sheepdog? No, a sheepdog would actually be very unhappy around Coimbatore. Any guesses? No. It's not that one. Anyone? Rajapali? No, no, it's not that one. Begins with a P. It's a very short word. Actually, it's also the word used sometimes for dog in some South Indian languages. Huh? Patti, you're right. Yeah, so around here. Okay, so this one, when we were doing sort of different types of clues earlier, I told you this one would come up. It's a close cousin of the bully kutta, so that's one clue. And it's a fierce guard dog, just like the bully kutta. And this is a dog that's actually sort of slowly, it's dying out because it's so ferocious that people just don't, I mean, you know, they don't keep this dog anymore. It begins with a K, and it's a very close cousin of the bully kutta from the Sindh Punjab region, typically. Anyone? Is it another something kutta? No, no, no. It's one word, it starts with a K. No, no, so this one is again from where the bully kutta is from. And it's a close cousin of the bully kutta. Anyone? Any guesses? No? Yeah, I'm wondering what kind of... I've told them about work and terrain, and it's a close cousin of a fairly well-known dog. Also that it's practically died out. It's just, there aren't too many left anymore because it's a very ferocious dog and people just can't. Yeah. Nobody? It's got a funny name, but that's not really a clue because a lot of them have funny names. Bakarwal, no. Starts with a K. Shall I just tell you all this one? It's the Coochie, which I told you it's a funny name. It's called the Coochie. Okay. This one, again, the first clue is we're coming back to a state where a lot of dogs are from. So that's Tamil Nadu, right? It's got a very sort of curved tail like this. It's an aerodynamic tail, so that it can run super fast. Think of it as a plane. It's just like cruising really fast. Thrives on dry, arid land. This one also begins with a K. And it's from Tamil Nadu. The combo is already done. It's not that one, yeah. We really need one of the people that have guessed to guess again. Otherwise, I don't know who wins today. Starts with a K, yeah. Yeah, good job. So 2, you might win. Okay. This one is from Maharashtra. It's a hound. It's a nomadic dog because it grew up and it was bred by nomadic people. It's great for hunting small game. It can walk really long distances. And it's got, if you guess, it's got 2 names. So are you Googling it? No, right? Okay. You're texting, okay. Like a phone a friend situation. Yeah. So it's got 2 names. If you give me either, it's an acceptable answer. Okay, this is, since we're in Hyderabad, one clue could be, it's named after one of the neighborhoods here. Like one of the hills. That's a really easy clue, so there's just 2 of them, I think, right? Yeah, Banjara what? Banjara Kutta, getting close. I told you it's a hound. Yeah, now who do I give it to? It's a Banjara hound, and it's also called a Waghari hound. So who do I give this to? Who guessed? All of you. Okay. This one has, I mean, there's some controversy on whether it's actually an Indian dog, but now it's kind of shown at Indian shows and so on. It's considered an Indian dog now. It's from Tibet, actually. So this has a long coat, very long coat for cold weather. Very fearless dogs, and they're tiny, and they have a very loud bark. No, no, no. It's a tiny dog. The Bakarwal is huge. So like if the Bakarwal was here, I could just lean like this on the Bakarwal and be scratching his ears. This one's this tiny. And it's originally from Tibet. Pug, no. Puppy, what puppy? Sorry? I mean, it borders India, and I don't want to get into history and political science, but let's say for now that it's an Indian dog, because you find a lot of these in India. 2 words in the name, sorry? Shiba Inu is Japanese. Is it Tibetan something? No. Because then I wouldn't have told you Tibet, because it would have been too easy. So it's not a Tibetan Spitz, and it's not a Tibetan Mastiff. It begins with an L. I don't know how helpful that is, but it begins with an L. Two words in the name. It's not an uncommon dog. I mean, I would say it looks a little bit like I know people love Shih Tzus now, so it looks a bit like that. Yeah. Yes, Lhasa Apso. Good job. Did you just guess 2? Yeah. Yeah, it's the Lhasa Apso. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, both a puppy and a grown dog. Okay, and we have one final question. You'll have to guess where this dog is from, and you'll also have to give me, it's got 2-3 names. It's known by 2-3 names, so you can give me any one of these names, right? And the only clue I'm going to give you is that this dog does not drool. When you say it does not drool, of course, it does a little bit, but just not, when you think of a dog, just it's one of its characteristics is that it just doesn't drool as much. So it's just one clue. And what I will say, you will not be able to point me to one particular place on the map. That's the other clue. What does it start with? Okay, so it's known by 2-3 different names. So I'm not sure how to give you that clue, right? Yeah. B, no. You're right. Good job. Which is why I said you can't point to anywhere on the map, right? You would just literally have to circle the whole map, which really was, so who, did you win then? You answered like 3 out of 7. My math is rubbish, but you won then, right? You got the Banjara Hound, you got this one, and you got the Lhasa. Fantastic, so I'm going to give you that later. Good job. But actually, the whole point, and it's fun to do a quiz, but why we did this was, when we guessed all of these dogs, right, we're able to just pinpoint specific regions on the map where they're from. But this last one, the in-dog, the Indian pariah dog, it's called the in-dog. A lot of people want to not call it that, so in-dog, and then Indi comes from that. People call it the streety. So I did a reading somewhere where someone came up with a really lovely name, and they called it the community dog, which I think is really nice because they're just everywhere we go, right? They're just like on the streets and tea shops. They live in community with us. But I think we've just not grappled fully with how to live with these dogs, right? Sorry? Yeah, some people use that term too. Yeah, but I think the specific word for that would be when a so-called pedigree dog breeds with the in-dog, then you're thinking of a mongrel. Yeah, that's technically that's what it is. Yeah. But why I actually wanted to do this is that, you can point to specific points on the map for all of these, the pedigree dogs, the breed dogs, but when we talk about the streety, the in-dog, it's really, I would have to circle, like this whole map, because they evolved here. They're what is called a land race, right? They've been here long before we got here. They've evolved based on whichever region they live in. Your in-dog that is somewhere in the Himalayas looks very different from the in-dog that's on the beaches of Kerala or the in-dog that is somewhere else, but they're all the same dog, basically. And these dogs, I was hoping that in doing this, the next time we see these dogs on the street, perhaps we sort of look at them differently and we're not just thinking of them as, typically people call them like the pariah dog. They're actually the most fascinating of all of these. And perhaps next time we're on the street, we're looking at those dogs, we look at them differently with a little bit more compassion, and also the people that kind of feed them and interact with them, I know sometimes get a lot of heat, so maybe we'll think about maybe either being one of those people or just being nice to, someone who's doing that, feed the community feeders, the people who take care of these dogs. And most importantly, when we're thinking about if the kids are saying, let's bring a dog home, or if we are thinking, let's bring a dog home, we should really be thinking about what kind of life we can offer a dog. Not like my favorite celebrity has this dog, so I want that dog, or like, you know, it looks cute and it looks beautiful and it looks majestic. I mean, what kind of life can I offer that dog, and will it fit into my life? Which was, and you know, to adopt, basically. Think about adopting before you go and, you know, pick them off like a catalog. So that was the whole point of the quiz, and I hope everyone had fun with it, and I'll sign the copy for you. Thank you. That's it. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Anusha. That was really, really interesting. And I think we learned a lot of new words for Indian breeds, which we didn't know earlier, right? Yeah.
You know, these dogs that kind of are from...
So Indipalem, what? Rajapalem, Indipalem. I created a new breed just now. Yeah, yeah, and all beautiful names also, yeah. So please, I hope children, all of you remember all these dog names, and well, us also, not just the children. Thank you so much. That was so entertaining and so informative. And thank you for your participation in this quiz, and I guess that wraps up the session. So thank you all for being here. Please come back next year. We are back again with Storyweavers, Dream Catchers, whatever the name is, it doesn't matter. Please come. We have lots of interesting things, hopefully next year also. Maybe another dog quiz, and everybody will be prepared with answers. Yeah.